this is Renee from Roundabout Stamps. Today is our day 8 of our 12 days of giving, and today I'm going to make these cute little stamped wooden ornaments. I've made a ton of them so far, so I'm just going to show you real quick how to make one, and then I'll show you what I've created. So the first thing I'm going to do is I purchased these ornaments from Amazon, and I bought them in this large zip bag. It came with a thing of twine as well as some of this. So I'm gonna, whatever you want to call that, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make these. I think they were like $12. It wasn't too bad. There were several different vendors you could purchase them from. So I just purchased between 2.8 inch to like 3.2 inch circles. I didn't want to go any smaller than that. Those are the cheaper ones, but I didn't really need large ones either. So that's why I went with this size. And I think that's why it was this price. So what I'm going to do, instead of making this snowman, let me just, and see, I also did both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and use this wreath stamp from one of our stamp sets. And that one came off of, bear with me, I have been playing all day. You can use Whimsical Holiday. There is a wreath on there. Or there is also a wreath on the stamp set called For the Tree. That's this wreath right here that I'm using right now. So I already have that on my block. And you can see with this large one, it's really kind of too small. So that's why I've also got this little one out. And that one really does fit. So I'm going to set that large one out of the way. I wanted to show you that. Just be conscious of the size of the circle as well as your stamp, because your main stamp may fill a spot, but then you may want to add things like these snowflakes to make it more dimensional or bigger to fulfill the space. So, all right. So what I used was our New England Ivy. This is one of my older stamp pads. Of course, these are all available on my website, which is roundaboutstamps.closetomyheart.com. So I just want to make sure they have it inked up well. Since it's a circle, I want it in the middle. And you have to really give it a good press. I kind of go side to side. And unlike paper where you don't want to rock it, I found that you may want to rock it with these wooden stamps because the wood itself may be uneven. And so sometimes I didn't get very good coverage and I would have to try and go over it again. So the next thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it. And I have Holly Jolly Holiday. And that's from our Holly Jolly card making set. So if you have that from my card making class, then this is the stamp you could use. And for it, I'm just going to go ahead and use black. And I'm going to go ahead and put it kind of down here at the bottom, because I have a holly leaf that I want to put on here as well. There you go. So I am stamped up on this ornament. Now there are a couple of ways that you can color these. So you can use your glimmer pens. You can use the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. Or you can use the watercolor pencils. And I've even found with the really art, or the really white parts, I saw that word art and said it. I don't know why I did that. But with the really white parts like Santa's beard, I did go over the beard with this white gel pen. So those are all things that you can use, and they do go very well. Now the only thing with the markers is the nubs are, these are art markers, and with going over wood, because of the grain, you could damage your nub. If you did that, if you pressed hard and went over it, then it can, you can replace that, but that's an added expense. The other thing that I did was, instead of going over it like you would paper, I just dotted it, because it spreads. It spreads in the wood as it absorbs. And also, you don't want to get really close to the edge, because it does start bleeding over or bleeding into that line. So just go ahead and make a bunch of dots. And you can see how that really has almost all the white spaces where I haven't colored have been absorbed by that ink. Now I did let a couple of them bleed, and it kind of makes it a neat line. You can see it's kind of doing that on these middle ones. It kind of bleeds a little bit, but that, I think it kind of lends to the type. Now see, I did not color all of that in, but yet it's colored in. I'm going to go ahead and close that up. Since I did it with this side, I'm also going to go ahead and do that with the berries. Again, not going too close to the edge. And see how it just, the wood just absorbs the ink. So it takes a couple to play with. I didn't do all of them perfect. Okay, so go ahead and flip that over. So the other thing that I like to do is, I really like the look of the stickles. So I have my red stickle. Again, this, you can purchase these on my website. And this wreath, I'm going to see, has all of these berries on it. So I'm going to go over those berries. And the less amount you squeeze on, the less time it does take to dry. The heavier the dots that you put down of the stickles, the longer it does take. So I had these sitting on my dining room table, drying overnight. Almost done. I guess I am just self-reflecting, thinking I am probably one of those quiet crafters, just sitting here doing my own thing. There we go. And I would be okay with that. All right, so that one is completed. You could stamp the word joy in the middle. You could stamp stars, whatever you did decide. Now, another thing I did was I took my shimmer brush, and this is a clear shimmer brush, and I just went over the area. Again, this will make the black bleed if you do get close, but it gives it a nice sheen over the edge, and I'll show you what I mean. Because, like I said, I did a lot. So instead of having to put this tape over multiple pieces and do them individually, I thought, let's work smarter and not harder. So I went ahead and I got these all put on. So you would just take it and push it through. There you go. Now this would be a cute little garland, if you wanted to have that as a garland. That would be cute on the tree. But I'm going to go ahead and make these as ornaments, because one of the other things that I did was I took and I put to and from. So some of them are gift tags. There you go. There's your ornament. And this one I did do that sheen. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a sheen over the snowman. And it is really clever and cute. And then I used the clear stickles on the snowflakes. Now I tried doing the snowflakes in a blue, but it just didn't turn out right. And I think this just, though it's not the prettiest, it did do a better job at showing what I was trying to capture. Okay. And I want to see if I can get to the one that I really, really enjoy. I just went crazy with all of my Christmas stamps and just kind of made a bunch of them. Kind of at whim, just got out all the Christmas stamps and went to town. And like I said, they gave us this twine, but you could use twine. I've got twine that is left over from Close to My Heart with glitter in it. You could use something like the red and white that I've been using. And this is from those whimsical stamp sets as well as the Santa Claus and the Snowman. So it's a very creative set, especially for these like little projects. Let's see. Find the one I really, really like. Here it is. So it's from the from Candyland stamp set. So it's this gingerbread house. And I just used pastel colors. And I used my watercolor pencils to shade them in. Kind of went a little darker on the bottom and around the top where the roof line is. And then on the back of it, I also used the same stamp set, and it has these little candies. And I did take the shimmer brush and go over that. So I just really love this one. You can see I did it a couple of times. And they're totally different. This would be a great project for you and your kids to make for your Christmas tree. You could really get into the whole, what do I want to say, farm look, and put like a deer stamp on here. And I did do a couple of deers as well. There's a season's greetings. Let me see if I can find the deer. There you go. So that would be really cute with some black and white or red and white check ribbon, just as a bow right there. Put this cute little saying from the same stamp set. Now, here, this is a sneak peek for the December Stamp of the Month stamp set. So it's a really, really pretty stamp set that would be great for card making for Christmas. So look out for that, because I'm going to have some projects listed. There's just some candy canes. Have a sweet Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed all of these different projects that I'm doing. With the different ornaments. I just loved how they turned out, and I can't wait to give them as gifts and use them as tags on some of my gifts, and also to decorate my tree with. So if you have any questions, I'm going to have everything that I use listed in the blog, and just feel free to drop me a note. I'll be happy to get back with you. Have a great day, everyone.